Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm finally back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 18 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. I know I've been gone for a while, so I'll talk about that in just a moment, but I am featuring a brand new team in today's episode. It is a Mega Blastoise team that's pretty much centered around Drifblim and Mega Blastoise. I loved Drifblim in VGC 2017, so I wanted to see if I could make it work in 2018. So the idea is really to Tailwind and then Rain Dance with Drifblim, and then basically just get really strong Water Spouts off with Blastoise. Drifblim, Lele, and Blastoise will probably come out in every game, and then one of Hydreigon, Tapu Lele, and Amoonguss will come out. But we're actually going to get this episode kicked off right away with a 1693 opponent from Japan. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Ranked, please share support by leaving a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Talk about the team preview here real quick, and then give you guys some quick updates. So, let's see. I typically like... It's a really loud car outside. As you can tell, I'm in a new place as well. So I'm in LA for the summer, and I moved out here 2 weeks ago, which is why I haven't been uploading, but I finally kind of been able to settle down and get some time too. But as a result, there are more people and more cars around. I think I'm going to just go Drift Lele here. That guarantees me to set up Tailwind. Gonna bring Blastoise. So Blastoise is really good against my opponent's team. Water Spout pretty much knocks out everything bar the Tapu Fini. So I'm going to want one of Bulu and Amoonguss in this matchup. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Bulu because with Scarf I can outspeed most things. I do have superpower to hit the Incineroar, although I don't think Incineroar comes out in this matchup. If I'm my opponent, I would probably go something like Kangaskhan Fini. And actually because of that, then I kind of like Bulu just because I can change the terrain. So yeah, I'm going to lock in and we'll see how this goes. Very first game with this brand new Mega Blastoise team. So like I mentioned, the reason why I haven't been uploading was because I moved out to LA to work for the summer before going back to New York to start school up. So it's been a busy couple of days, or weeks really, so apologies for kind of just disappearing without any explanation, but I'm excited to be back and I'm hoping to get content out on a regular basis once again. And as always, thank you guys for watching and supporting the videos. I'll also be commentating the North American International Championships, which is taking place in Columbus next weekend, so that should be a really fun live stream, and I highly encourage all of you guys to tune in. It's going to be Kartana and Incineroar as a lead for my opponent, which is slightly scary. You can't fake out the Drifblim, but I think it's likely let the Incineroar just goes for the knockout onto Drifblim. I'm worried about Tailwind Kartana. That's my main concern. So I'm going to go straight for the Tailwind, but because I think he might Tailwind and go for the knockout onto Drifblim, I'm actually just going to Z-move Kartana. A lot of Kartanas don't carry Smart Strike nowadays as well, but he actually swaps out, which is fine by me. That's totally okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get a knockout onto the Coco, which is good because that does threaten Blastoise the most. This team does have a lot of anti-Blastoise. Okay, the fake out into Lele. That's kind of cool. I was gonna say, yeah, this team does have a lot of support to basically make sure that Blastoise does get sweeps off. So I do get the Tailwind off. Coco comes in for free, but that's totally fine. I'm just gonna go straight for a Rain Dance here and go for the Z move onto Coco. Even if Coco protects, Incineroar won't be able to knock out Lele. I wanted to knock out Drifblim of anything, and no protects or switch outs, which is really nice for me. So yeah, Drift Lele, like I mentioned, one of my favorite combinations in 2017. Absolutely loved it. Used it at Nats and Worlds. Didn't do as well as I would have liked to at those tournaments, but I feel like I played bad and it wasn't really an issue of the team. And it's nice to be able to use it in 2018. So in 2017, I used a bulky Drifblim, bulky Tapu Lele with like Life Orb and max HP, no speed, but now I'm running max speed just to really guarantee that I outrun things. So I will get the Shattered Psyche off. This should knock out the Coco, which is nice because that means one less threat against the Blastoise. And Blastoise can now one-shot the Incineroar with Water Spout. Shadow Ball plus Water Spout should be able to knock out anything as well. As we do see the knockoff go, it actually doesn't even really come close to knocking out Drifblim, so... The scary thing about this team is that your Tailwind turns do run out really quickly, so sometimes you actually want the Drifblim to fame. But with Kangaskhan coming in, this is pretty ideal for me, because my opponent didn't bring the Tapu Fini. I can also burn the Kangaskhan, so what I'm going to do here is go for the Will-O-Wisp and the Psychic into... Or sorry, I should Moonblast does more. Yeah, so I actually kind of designed this team because I knew Kangaskhan teams are getting more popular, and Drifblim matches up really nicely against Kangaskhan. And on those teams, typically, like, Blastoise can sweep through everything bar something like Kartana and Feeny, but, you know, Water Spouts are still doing over 50% to Kartana. They can knock it out if they're not Assault Vested and Rain Boosted. And then Feeny, you know, I have multiple answers like the Amoonguss. So we're just going to see the Fake Out come out totally fine with me, especially if it means being able to get this Will-O-Wisp buff against Kangaskhan. So hopefully I don't miss. I do connect the Will-O-Wisp, which is huge. Burning Kangaskhan always one of the more satisfying parts of VGC. We don't see Kangaskhan as much as we did, say, in 2015, but actually, specifically in the metagame right now, Kangaskhan has really risen in popularity. So it's pretty interesting to see that kind of come all the way back up into relevance. But I still have one last turn of Tailwind. If neither of these two Pokemon have Protect, the game is over. Kangaskhan typically don't have Protect, and Incineroars might if it's not Assault Vested. If it is Assault Vested, then my opponent's really in some trouble. Definitely going to go for the Water Spout here. And I'm going to Moonblast the Incineroar. I think that's the one that's more likely to switch out, if anything, into the Kartana. But like I said, if my opponent doesn't have Protect here, it's my last turn of Tailwind. I've got Rain Dance up, and I've got Water Spout, and my opponent has already used the Fake Outs. So if you don't have Protect on either, I'm just going to get the knockout. Incineroar swaps out, which is so good to see because Kartana was basically the... specifically to Blastoise. So if I knock out the Kartana, then Blastoise will be pretty good even outside of Tailwind because I burned the Kangaskhan. So I'm feeling really good right now. Even if Kangaskhan has Protect, I think the game is most likely over. Finally able to get Blastoise in a position where it can sweep. No Protect comes out from the Kangaskhan, which will mean that this game should be over. Even if the Kangaskhan is super bulky, I don't think he'll be able to take this after the burn damage. We do see that it is Assault Vest Kartana though, and it is not able to hang on from the combination. So that is why I doubled up into that slot. Kangaskhan not as much of a threat. Gonna be able to get a knockout here onto the Lele should it target it, but that's fine. Now I've got Blastoise against Incineroar. So yeah, this game was basically setting up Blastoise for the perfect position, and my opponent did not bring Feeny, which is the main thing I was concerned about. Because if you don't bring Feeny, then Blastoise literally can just Water Spout everything. So Tailwind expires, but now I've got Blastoise in, and that can just sweep the Incineroar. But yeah, like I mentioned, part of the reason why I wanted to use Mega Blastoise and Drifblim was because I actually thought it's pretty good against the metagame right now, especially with all these Kangaskhan teams running around. You'll see stuff like Kangaskhan, Charizard obviously a very common Mega as well, and Rain Dance completely screws over that. So Bulu will come in now. I do want to use more eccentric Pokemon, and I don't think this is as creative as, say, maybe the last two teams I used, so I will try to get to building some more creative teams after US Internats probably, but I really wanted to try out Mega Blastoise, and I feel like this game demonstrates why it can be good. So, yep. Let's see how much Scarf Superpower does to Incineroar. Pretty good amount, around 2/3. But Water Pulse here will be able to finish it off. So I am running Water Pulse as my last attack instead of something like Dark Pulse or Aura Sphere, just because I think there will be a fair amount of games where my Tailwind expires. I'm not going to be able to Water Spout, but I'm still going to want to do consistent damage, and Water Pulse I think is the best option. Dark Pulse and Aura Sphere are a little bit more situational, and like Water normally hits the things that you're hitting with Dark Pulse or Aura Sphere anyway, and if I have the Rain, then it's doing more damage most of the time. So that is why I decided to go with that. Anyway, a pretty clean first game for this team. I'm pretty content about that. And yeah, I don't know. I really like Drifblim. I like being able to get the fast offense and kind of you know, aggro playstyle. I really like that. I feel like it fits me, and especially with Blastoise, I think it's really fun. I do like Hydreigon, Amoonguss, and Bulu a lot here as well, though, because basically, when I built this team, I was like, alright, I'm always going to bring Drifblim, Lele, and Blastoise. At least almost always. So how do I support it so that I'm always beating the threats to those three Pokemon? Fun fact, though, I actually was running a Gothitelle over Hydreigon initially, and it was a really wacky Gothitelle. It was like Heal Pulse to basically heal back the Blastoise, Trick Room, Ally Switch, and Helping Hand. And so it was basically full support Gothitelle, but in practice, I played like 5 games maybe on Showdown. I feel like I was just always bringing Drifblim, and I was never really bringing the Gothitelle. Alright, we are going to find our second opponent of the day from Canada with a rating of 16-14. Also using a team that I think is pretty Mega Blastoise friendly. Of course, I am expecting to bring Blastoise in pretty much all these games, so I'd hope that's the case, but the Trick Room is probably the one thing I'm scared about, and there is a Mega Lopunny on my opponent's team as well, and I do have to remember its ability, which I forgot about when we played against it in like one of the previous episodes, which was quite a while ago, but I will not forget that. So, let's see. I still like Driflele here, I think. Yeah. Drifblim, Blastoise. This might be an Amoonguss game, mainly because I can just Sludge Bomb one-shot the Tapu Lele. And if I get Rain Dance up, then Heat Waves won't be doing nearly as much. And being able to Spore Snorlax, I think, will be a big deal in this matchup. So, yeah. Gonna go Drifblim, Blastoise again. Like I mentioned, I will probably bring those in most games, and then Amoonguss. I think I'm going to use this team basically for like a week or so. I might actually change up my team before NA Internats. I know people are looking for more like innovative or creative teams or Pokemon. This one does have Blastoise, everything else is relatively standard, so I do want to try to get some more eccentric builds out. But for now, I will be using this just because I thought Blastoise would be pretty good against the metagame at this moment. So we're going to see Heatran and Bulu as a lead here for my opponent. I'm okay with that. That's not the Trick Room I was expecting. If it's not Scarf Bulu, I can go straight for a Shattered Psyche into it. It looks like it's not Scarfed. Although, that means I probably won't be able to knock it out, but a Shattered Psyche will put Bulu enough where I think Water Spout should be able to knock it out. So, yeah, I'm just going to launch the Shattered Psyche into Bulu and go for a Tailwind. And I feel like there's not much my opponent can do to really prevent this right now either. Bulu is the main threat to my team because of how much damage it does against Blastoise. So being able to chunk it out for a lot is good right away. Bulu is going to protect, so that's a good play on my opponent's end. That's fine though. I'm still going to be able to get Tailwind up, get my Shattered Psyche off, and going to be able to potentially Will-O-Wisp that slot next turn. Heatran, I'm not sure what I'll go for, but a Shadow Ball should be able to knock out any substitutes if it goes for that. Shouldn't be able to knock out either of these unless it's like Steel Z move. Maybe Flash Cannon can knock out Tapu Lele because I don't have any bulk, but I don't think so. So I'll get the Shattered Psyche off. We'll chip Bulu, probably do around like 15-20%, let it heal back after the grassy terrain. Yeah, right around there. But any chip damage is still good, as Heatran's actually going to go for the taunt onto the Bulu. That does prevent me from Will-O-Wisping it, so that's kind of annoying. I'm wondering if a Shadow Ball and a Moonblast will be able to knock out the Bulu right now, though. The taunt is kind of annoying because it means I can't go for a Rain Dance, which I'd really like to right now, both to set up Blastoise and to make my Blastoise damage output, or sorry, reduce Heatran's damage output. Yeah, that Bulu looks pretty bulky. I don't think Moonblast will be able to pick up the knockout here. Let's see. Yeah, it hangs on with literally like 1 HP. That's fine, though. It doesn't have a berry, which was my main concern. And he goes for a substitute. Okay. This is interesting. I mean, I still feel like I'm in a pretty good spot here, especially with Bulu so low. I'm taunted, but I'm going to be able to Tailwind real quick soon again. I might actually be able to get 2 Tailwinds up this game. So here I'm going to just go for the Shadow Ball into Bulu. And I think I'm just going to switch out to Blastoise. Yeah, I'll be able to heal back whatever damage Heatran does with grassy terrain. And with Bulu out the way, that sets up Blastoise. Lopunny is kind of concerning. I will say I'm kind of scared of that. If I knock out this Bulu, which I should be able to. But Substitute was an interesting play. I actually would have preferred for my opponent to knock out the Lele, so it kind of works out that my opponent didn't give me a free switch in. As Heatran is just going to launch another Heat Wave. Drifblim double avoid. I mean, it really doesn't matter too much there, but I'll take it. Prevents any burns, crits. And Drifblim being able to hang on for longer is always nice too. I think if you have Lopunny here, you might want to bring it out. But interestingly enough, actually, I just realized that even if my opponent had Lopunny, I could just switch the Drifblim out into Lele to prevent the fake out. So Cresselia comes in now. Tailwind's expiring. I actually don't know who's faster between my Heatran and Blastoise. I'm just going to go for the Shadow Ball into Cress here and a Water Spout. If you're my opponent, you probably just protect Heatran and Trick Room, or maybe switch out Heatran. Actually, switching out Heatran would be better, but it stays in, which I'll take. Garbage truck outside is really loud. I don't know if you guys can hear it. But I will get the Mega Evolution off. There's the Protect. Fine by me, because Heatran's not going to do anything against my Blastoise unless it's like Grassium Z anyway. And a special defense drop here on Cresselia would probably mean that Water Spout just knocks it out. That looks pretty bulky though, so never mind. Thought maybe it would do like over 50%, but I always underestimate Cresselia's bulk even after using it for so many years. Nice enough though, the Cresselia actually hangs on like above 25%, which means that I should be able to get a knockout onto it with Water Spout. Okay. I do want to Rain Dance here. I'm worried about the double up onto Blastoise. And I don't really care about Cresselia, so I'm actually just going to go for the Water Pulse onto Heatran. Mainly because I think Heatran might want to switch out into Snorlax right now, but he's just going to Earth Power. That's fine. That's a crit. Sunny day. Well, that'll be fun, because of the way the weather mechanics work. Or in the sense that I'm always going to be attacking last, which is quite unfortunate. Water Pulse still does a good amount there, though. And because of this Rain Dance, it's forcing my opponent basically to go for the Sunny Day again with Cresselia. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. Grassy terrain is quite nice right now, though, I will say, as it will disappear from the battlefield. I'm just going to go for the Shadow Ball here onto Cress, and interestingly enough, Heatran actually went first before Cresselia, so even if it Heat Waves, like Drifblim's taking no damage from Heatran right now, so I'm actually just going to Protect with Blastoise. Do I need to Protect even? I'm just worried about like helping hand Earth Power, but we saw that even that wasn't enough to get a knockout. So maybe it's better, but a Psychic Earth Power might just knock me out. Yeah, so I will just go for the Shadow Ball here, knock out Cress, and go for Protect with Blastoise. I probably should have Protected last turn, just to make Trick Room run out a little bit easier. But the thing is, if Amoonguss comes out during Trick Room, that actually is pretty good for me. Heatran's actually going to taunt my Drifblim. I'm fine with that, as I will be able to just knock out Cress. The taunt is honestly kind of nice, though, because now I'm in a slightly awkward position. So the question is whether my opponent calls it at like Heat Waves this next turn with Heatran. Because this game is actually still not over. It was a nice play predicting my Protect on Blastoise, though. But it's Lopunny is the last one. Okay, I was expecting Snorlax for sure. That's quite interesting. I can just switch into Lele to block any fake outs. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna block the fake out and go for a Water Pulse. It's not gonna knock out Heatran, but I just need to get in low enough where any other attack will knock it out. My opponent could make the call to not fake out here with Lopunny though, so we'll see. This might have been a boneheaded play, actually. Actually, I really don't like that play because I think I lose most of the time from it. Yeah, that was not a good play. I think I should have just stayed in and doubled up onto the Heatran. If anything, that could have been a throw, actually. Yeah, he's not going to go... Okay, but that's fine, actually. Because you're not going to knock out... Yeah. Lopunny's only going to knock out one of two. I was afraid that like both my Pokemon would go down, but... Thunder Punch coming out onto Blastoise. Okay, that's fine. That's actually super fine because now I can just bring out Amoonguss, Spore, Heatran, and Psychic Lopunny. I'm not a big fan of how that played out though. If my opponent Heat Wave there and Thunder Punched, that could have been... I guess I'd still get the Water Pulse off though, which is what I was going for. So maybe that wasn't as bad of a play as I thought it was. I'm just going to Psychic Spore now because that covers all my options. Yeah, Lele should be slower than Lopunny. Spore will be able to... unless it's Safety Goggles Heatran. We haven't seen Heatran's item, which is kind of what's scaring me. Safety Goggles actually really would screw me over. I think I would probably just lose as a result. Especially because Lopunny has Thunder Punch, which probably just knocks out Drifblim. If you're my opponent here, you probably should double Protect. Sometimes Lopunnies don't even carry Protect, especially if it's running Thunder Punch. I mean, fake out Thunder Punch, like, and then you want to take advantage of both stabs. No Protect on either, which is really shocking. But I'll take it, because that means I should just knock out Lopunny, and that should be game. This was kind of a scary game, though. I don't know. I feel like I had good control, but the Sunny Day came out, and that was... I want to say unexpected. It's not even that crazy. Like 2015, 2013, 2012, you know, Sunny Day, Crest plus Heatran, very common. And Sunny Day Crest has won Worlds before and done really well. So it's not like that crazy of a concept. It's just I feel like a lot of... I don't see Heatrans as much nowadays. So, yep. No need to really go for anything else. Psychic will knock out Heatran. We do get a win. I'm trying to see where I could have played better. I'm trying to think of the very beginning of the game. I don't know. That was kind of a weird game, honestly. Especially with Lopunny as the last one, because my opponent did set up Trick Room. But yeah, the main thing about Amoonguss is that obviously you can't touch Heatran other than Spore. Like, you do no damage against it, and you can, and because mine is, you know, more offensive, mainly to one-shot Tapu Koko, because Koko is a threat to Blastoise. Then it also gets a little bit scary. Like, I was worried because Drifblim, Amoonguss, Lele don't have great damage output against the Heatran, which is why I was continuously chunking it. If my opponent double protects there, then the late game actually could be a little bit scary. Because if you double protect, then it's Lopunny plus, and I'll play a third game. I haven't uploaded in a while. It's been pretty fast. It would be Lopunny plus Heatran against Lele and Amoonguss. And then so I'd probably just Rage Powder Psychic. Oh no, I'd still win. Yeah, I would just Rage Powder Psychic to knock out the Lopunny, and then Shadow Ball just knocks out Heatran. So I think I had all my bases covered actually at the end of that game. So yeah, you can see I think Drifblim has been showing how good it can be though against a lot of these teams, or against the first two teams we played. Like, I'm waiting for the day I run into a team where Drifblim is not the call. But with Drifblim and Tapu Lele, like, it covers most of your bases because you prevent any taunt, you get your speed control, and you set up Blastoise. So, pretty good game there, and we'll just look for our third game of the day. You're going to find Lily from Japan with a rating of 1543 for our last game today. Also running a pretty scary team, one that I think Mega Blastoise, however, can thrive against. So Charizard, Cresselia, Feeny, Snorlax, Landorus, and Mawile. So once again, Blastoise really optimal against 5 of the 6. It's the Feeny that I'm worried about, as per usual. I'm wondering if actually maybe I don't want to go Driflele here. But with the taunt on Lele, I think it's probably worth bringing. So Driflele, Blastoise. The last one is the tricky one in this game. Bulu one-shots the Feeny. I guess it's pretty tough to even bring Feeny against my team, the more I look at it. I want to go Amoonguss mainly for the Spore against Snorlax, but if Feeny is Misty Terrain, I can't even Spore. Yeah, I guess actually I could still Spore half my opponent's team, which is kind of funny. The Landorus, the Crest, and the Incineroar. I don't like Hydreigon here with 2 Fairy types on my opponent's team. So I brought Hydreigon mainly for stuff like, it actually does help a lot against Cresselia, but against like Aegislash, which I had some troubles against. So Bulu or Amoonguss. I think this Bulu has Stone Edge as well. That might be a reason enough. But against... This is tricky. I think I'm going to regret bringing Amoonguss if I do. Do I need the redirection? Alright, I'll go Bulu. Actually, in a game like this where I was so indecisive, I think Amoonguss is probably the better call in best of 1. Mainly because it means, okay, even if my opponent sets up Trick Room, I can still beat it with Amoonguss. So, not bringing it, probably a mistake, but I wanted to see if I can use Scarf Bulu a little bit more. So, we'll see. Anyway, let's get into this game against Lily. She is, we'll see after Drifblim Lele comes out. So yeah, you know, I mean, the thing about this team is it's not too exciting in the sense that I'm going with the same things most of the times, but it's still, I don't know, I really like it. It is going to be Crest Feeny as the lead here for my opponent, which I think is actually really scary, and probably the best lead my opponent could have brought out. But at the end of the day, that's still not too bad. What do I want to do? Taunt Cresselia for sure. Yeah, I think I'm going to double into Crest here. This is where actually bringing Bulu does help, because I can just potentially one-shot the Feeny. Yeah, I just don't want Trick Room to go up. Feeny switches out, whoa. Okay. Unless that's Mentor Crest, which it maybe could be. But if it's not Mentor, this is really good. Let's see. I mean, most Cresses nowadays are Berry or Z-Move, but it is actually Mentor. Okay. Okay. Since we're not having Intimidate hurts. I have not seen Mentor Crest in a long time, but that is the one way to shut me down. Now, I could burn the Snorlax by going for a Will-O-Wisp and switching into Tapu Lele. But it's still going to be at +2. But I don't really have any other options, I think. Yeah, this is where I meant Amoonguss could have been good. Like, in case Trick Room went up. So, should have considered Mentor. Okay, I'm going to go for the WoW, though, and switch into Bulu. Yeah, this is going to be ugly, I think. I need to stall out Trick Room and basically sweep with Blastoise. Now that's doable, but without Protect on Bulu, that makes my life a lot harder. Yep, there's the Belly Drum, no surprise there. So, you know, my opponent's strat is pretty clear. Just set up Trick Room and try to sweep with Snorlax. If I miss this Will-O-Wisp, it would be really ugly. But even if I hit it, I don't even know if that prevents, like, because I'm so frail with everything. Light Screen's going to go up as well. That's not fun to see either. Alright, hopefully I don't miss this. Okay, well that's a start. This is where I kind of wish I had Intimidate, though. So the nice thing about Snorlax is that I actually really can't touch Drifblim at all. The question here is whether I just sacrifice Bulu or not. I think the answer might have to be yes. Yeah, which kind of sucks. I don't have Protect, which is really unfortunate on it. But maybe my opponent gets a little bit ambitious and protects Bulu to Protect. I don't have Protect because I'm Scarfed, so I can't, but I'm going to double up under Crest. Although there's no reason for Snorlax to really Protect here. You should target Bulu. Helping Hand. Okay, just to ensure that it knocks out. That makes sense. Yeah. Without Protect, I don't have any counterplay to that, unfortunately. This might just be a Snorlax sweep from my opponent's end, honestly. With Trick Room up. My Amoonguss also isn't min speed. So, even if I brought Amoonguss, it really wouldn't have helped me out that much. I'll bring Lele out. The main issue is that Light Screen. With Light Screen out, this Snorlax is going to be able to take any hits, and I can't touch it right now. You know it's Mentor Crest. Now, I still have my Z move. I'm going to Shadow Ball Crest and just protect Lele here. If I get a double protect, that actually might be what I need to win this game. Could switch Snorlax out into Crest out into Feeny right now though to change the terrain, which I think you should do. I'm basically playing for a Mega Blastoise endgame, but I don't see it working out too well, mainly because I think Snorlax even burned with both Belly Drum still just knocks out everything, which is concerning. And the Helping Hand just ensures it, which is the bigger issue. So, the one way I can see myself getting out of this is if... Okay, and Crest switches out, which is the correct play, so nicely done there. Into Charizard, okay, that's interesting. This is still doable then. I think I really need to double protect here with Lele though. Yeah. How many turns of Light Screen are left actually? Maybe I can actually stall Light Screen. Okay, if I get a double, that would be huge. Do I even need a Tailwind? Probably not, because I actually go straight for the Rain Dance this turn. Although, it doesn't matter too much. This is close. Because Blastoise really can sweep through. I should probably Tailwind on my last turn and then Rain Dance next turn, if anything. Yeah, Tailwind makes sense here. Okay. Need to hope for maybe a double right now. Charizard Y, no surprise. I'd rather see Y than X, honestly, just because Y can't touch Blastoise once I Rain Dance up. If I get this double protect, then I actually think I'm in a really good position, because then I can just Z-move Snorlax. But I don't get it. That's fine. Unless I survive, but there's no way I survive. Yeah. And Charizard's just gonna Flamethrower. That's fine. This is still maybe doable. Because I'm gonna stall out the last turn of Light Screen. And Snorlax will take another turn of burn damage. So that is enough. And my opponent probably isn't expecting Rain Dance right now. Like, I could Rain Dance Water Spout, but I don't think that's enough to get the knockout with Light Screen up. But if Light Screen is gone, then I think it will be. So this turn I'm going to Rain Dance to make sure like Drifblim survives. And I might as well Mega Evolve. And if Screens is over, then I'll have full rain control. But then again, I still have to deal with the Feeny, which is my other concern. But one step at a time. Like, if Drifblim somehow is able to hang on, then Shadow Ball, Water Pulse, or Shadow Ball full-powered Water Spout, like double twice into Feeny can still pull it off. So this game is actually still winnable, which is why I'm not giving up. No switch outs, which is good. Drifblim does need to survive a Flamethrower, but it should be able to, given that I will be able to get the rain up. So I think if you're my opponent right now, you're just like, oh, you know, I've got Light Screen off. I can just go for safe return and Flamethrower. But because of the Rain Dance, Drifblim is able to hang on, which is essential in maybe winning me this game. So let's see. Yep, there's a Flamethrower. No burn or crit, hopefully. That would be really bad. Okay. Okay. And Light Screen is gone now, and I've got Rain Dance and full power Water Spout. I don't think it's even enough to knock out Snorlax. Honestly, I wish I had just a little bit more of damage, like maybe 10 to 15% more, but we'll see if it will be enough. Either way, if there's any Pokemon switching out right now, it's going to be the Charizard, so I will target that slot and Water Spout. Now, if my opponent switched in Crest for some reason into that Charizard slot, I'd knock out Crest, and then Water Spout would be single target, which then definitely would knock out Snorlax. But this is what I've been playing for the whole game, so yeah, if I got that double protect off, I actually think I'm in a pretty darn good spot, but that's not anything. Like, you never want to bank on a double protect, especially with the odds of that being pretty darn low. But that was my best out given the point at that point. So, we'll see if Blastoise can prove its worth here. Charizard does switch out into Crest. Oh, well, but Crest is actually bulkier than... Sorry, I thought it was lower. Yeah, I'm not going to get the knockout there. Okay, is this enough? Ah, yeah, like I said, another 10% onto Snorlax and it would have been gone. Well, I tried. The Mentor really caught me off guard and a crit there, which actually could have mattered maybe, but I don't think I win this game without knocking out Snorlax there anyway. Yeah, for some reason I remembered Crest. I thought Crest was a little bit lower, so I thought Shadow Ball would get the knockout. That was really close though. Yeah, like I said, 10 to 15% more with Snorlax than would have gotten the knockout. If I get the knockout there on Snorlax, then what that means is, yeah, you have to bring out Feeny pretty much. So I can just Shadow Ball, Water Spout. Maybe my opponent still wins though, because Feeny can just knock out my Drifblim, and then Charizard comes out. So I guess I actually didn't really have too many outs there. I would have needed to get the double knockout. Or actually, sorry, I did knock out Crest. Yeah, so if I knock out Snorlax, then I go for the Rain Dance Water Spout. And then I think Feeny probably still wins in that position. So, yeah, it was... Once Snorlax set up, this was really tough to come back from. Especially without a Mungus. But even if I brought a Mungus, like, my opponent could just switch Feeny back in to take the Spore any day. So it was really the Mental Orb that caught me off guard, and that's just a best of one kind of thing where not too much I could have done against it, honestly. In a best of 3, I would definitely adjust accordingly and probably bring something like Hydreigon. Like Hydreigon Bulu as a lead could work out really nicely because I thread in the Cresselia immediately. I know Cresselia isn't that tanky. Either way, we go 2-1 in today's episode. Pretty happy about that. I feel like that last game demonstrates the potential of Mega Blastoise, but I wasn't able to chip, you know, my opponent's Pokemon enough to the point where it'd actually be able to get the knockouts. But that was still a really fun episode. The first 2 games went really well, I'd say overall, and then this last game, yeah, Mountsorp, Cresselia, something that in Best of 1 is pretty tough, and normally I don't expect it because most Cresselias don't carry it, but sometimes you do run into it, and my opponent played very well with Snorlax, basically did everything right. If I had Protect on Bulu, or if I could have gotten a double Protect off on Lele, I think those were really my 2 outs, but obviously, you know, it's not, Protect on Bulu isn't an out when I don't have it, and my opponent just played very nicely with Snorlax. Either way, that's going to be it with this episode, guys. I'm really excited to be back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. I'm going to be hopefully back on a regular basis now. It's kind of tough to record because I do have a bunch of roommates, but I think what I'm going to do is basically aim to record in the mornings because they do go to work a little bit before me, so I do have like a 30 to 40 minute window around then. So I'm going to do that, and then, yeah, I'll try to use this team. Maybe switch to a new team before NA Internats. We'll see about that. But either way, it's really excited. I'm really excited to be back, and yeah, looking forward to making more content for you guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. All right, peace.